Welcome to MLM Nation, a podcast of leaders, by leaders, for leaders, hosted by Simon Chan. He's built a team of over 200,000 and is now a full-time MLM coach and trainer. So if you're ready to level up your business, join us now. Let's do this.
Hey, MLM Nation, it's Simon Chan here. I wish I could be more excited today. I don't know how I'm going to do this episode. I may break down. I may stay strong, not cry. I'm not really a crying person, but I was crying while I was preparing for this and making a reel for my late friend, Jessie Lee Ward. So I guess if you listen to this, you see the reel on Instagram, on Facebook. But today I want to talk about my untold story. It's been 72 hours since she has passed away, and it was a shock to all of us. I think she was definitely on recovering, feeling better, and then it just happened. Cancer is vicious. But I'm going to talk about I'm going to tell you all about Jessie Lee Ward, why she was when I say sister from another mother, we had a connection. And then I thought about it's something that we could all learn from. Right. And it's not just about excitement or work ethic, but something really special, how she touched my heart. So let me just get into how I even met Jessie Lee Ward. The story was when we first started MLM Nation in 2015. Back then, it was a lot harder to get leaders to be on the show. Most leaders, they're very protective of their time. And we started this show, and trust me, it was kind of like recruiting people to MLM. I was recruiting leaders to spend an hour of their time with me to be on the podcast. And out of nowhere one day, I got a Facebook message. And, it was just require lots of follow-up. And I'm going for the big names, with Big Al Strider, with Ray Higdon, all the big names. Then we had, if you go to episode, I got I have a brain fog right now just because of the whole Jessie Lee situation. But Brian Carruthers, Jordan Adler, Tom Chenault, the legends, right? And I may have missed a couple of names right now. I can't even think. Matt Morris was one of the first episodes. I can't even think of her name now, but episode number 1, right? Danny Johnson. So I wanted, it just required numerous of follow-ups. And then all of a sudden, one day, I got a Facebook message from this guy, Jamal Rashad. Give him a shout out. And he was just a listener and said, there's 2 leaders that I need you to meet. You need to have these on the show. And it's kind of ironic that he brought up these 2 leaders because Jamal lived in the Baltimore, Maryland area, and he knew these people from networking. And Jamal was a hustler. He's a go-getter. And he knew these two leaders. And these 2 leaders actually eventually worked together. And the leaders were John Melton and Jessie Lee Ward. So I reached out to both Jessie Lee Ward and John Melton saying, hey, you know what? This guy recommended you. And John Melton, he jumped in right away and did an amazing podcast, maybe episode 40, 50, something like that. And I still remember he was going through, this is right before he went through a big, tough time, right? Him and Nadia were on the show. And I don't think Nadia was on it. It was just John at the time. And it was a great show. And then I never heard from Jessie Lee. Right. So I didn't know much about her, and I was just numerous follow-ups, and I have so many leaders. I mean, there's literally thousands. If you want to build your belief in the profession, thousands and thousands of leaders who have made over 6 figures in network marketing. And so I just reached out to other people, and the show keeps going on. And then one day I got a message from Jessie Lee saying, hey, I'm ready to be on the show. And I was like, whoa, okay, I almost kind of forgot about you. You were on my 6 months follow-up list, right? And because I have these other leaders to follow up to get on the show. And that time the show was getting more traction. And so we got Jessie Lee on, and she was episode 101. I always remember that, 101, special 101. After the 100th episode, she was on there. And it was an amazing show where she talked about, and you can listen to these on mlmnation.com/podcast. They're on there. Or you can go to Spotify or iTunes. They're on the archive episode, because after 300 episodes, we had to start, quote unquote, another podcast. But it was an amazing show. We talked about systems. It was blown away. But after that, I got to really know Jessie. Just wasn't a guest. And I found out stories about her. Well, she was in another company, was like just the way the pay plan was, she wasn't getting paid that much. And she told me stories about work ethic. And this immediately wowed me, was that she used to have a Toyota RAV4, which those who don't know is like a small SUV. And she would just drive back and forth, drive 2 hours for a meeting, another 2 hours. And she had all these products. And she had to retail a lot of products in the trunk space in the SUV. And then when she bought the car to the mechanic, just for tune-up, the mechanic's like, you need new rear suspension. And she's like, what? Why? And I found out that she was doing so many trips with so much products in the back trunk that she messed up the suspension on her Toyota RAV4, and she needed new suspension. That's the type of work ethic. When I heard that story, I was like, incredible, right? But she was in the company where the pay plan didn't earn that much at that time, and I kind of feel proud, happy, selfishly in a way. But she said she got into MLM because she found out that, and found another company where she was, I guess the best way to prove without offending anyone, where she could earn a lot more with the right vehicle. And then not Toyota, the platform. And that's how she got started really with MLM, right? Before she was in a different company with a different type, sort of like MLM, but different type of pay plan. And she's like, well, thanks to you, Simon. And I selfishly love to take this credit. Like, I didn't even know about all these people earning that much money. And it seemed like a lot of these people, I outworked them, and I'm making only this much. And she was a six-figure earner, but in the low six figures, I could earning way more if I had a better vehicle. And that's how she got really into MLM. And so I feel I was part of her success, right? Well, because I think her previous company, she only paid on very limited levels. Okay. And she can pay multi-levels way more and earn a lot more commission. And so later on, she was making more, double or triple in more in 1 month than she was working an entire year, just because the pay plan was different. So I felt like I had a part of her success. And just when she got started, I just watched her blow up, just go crazy, right? Like, and I remember the one thing about her was she had such excitement, and if you met her in person, just like a glow over her that attracted. And I always felt that she was go. And I immediately connected with her. The way she talked fast, the way that's how I am. And we always joked that we were like very similar, right? Like I was her brother. I have more stories about that, like a sister from another mother. And so in 2016, we were at a Ray Higdon event, and she messaged me, oh, I think I see you. I was like, where are you? I'm the one with the purple hair, right? And then immediately during the break, she has to run out and get to meet me, because that was the first time we met in person. And she immediately made me feel special, right? I was just like a person that interviewed, but she just had a dynamic, like a kind of like a magnet that made you feel special. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. And then in 2017, I was at a internet conference, online conference in San Diego, and she was in Orange County in Los Angeles, Orange County in the LA area. She was about 90 minutes away. So Simon, she was there for a company meeting. We got to meet. And I was like, yeah, sure. Okay. Where are you? I was like, well, that's pretty far, but no, I got to come down. I got to drive. I want to meet you. Hang out. So she drove and it was Saturday traffic. So it took instead of 90 minutes, it took 2.5, 3 hours, came out, and we had dinner with a couple other leaders as well. But one of my mentors, Steve Schwartz, came out to meet me, and then I connected her with Steve Schwartz. But that was an awesome, and a couple of my coaching clients was there. So I wanted my coaching clients to meet her. And we went out to this, still remember, all you can eat Brazilian steakhouse. I don't eat red meat, but hey, whatever, we'll go there. And we're in downtown at the, yes, it was Gaslamp. Was it Gaslamp District? No, downtown San Diego, because the convention was the San Diego Convention Center, and we walked across and went to late dinner. And that's when I really got to know her family, right? Her family. And she said, I reminded her of her brother. And of course, in all families, like you have people that support you and people don't support you. The same thing. So if you feel like people support you, don't support you, she was crazy successful already at a time, just shooting up the ranks. And still had family that didn't support her. But one of the family that did support her was her brother. She's different, I think, She had like a sister, another two brothers, and one brother. She spoke fluent Chinese and lived in China. And she said, I reminded her exactly the way I was. It was exactly like her brother. And again, I felt so close to her, right? Like she was like a sister. I was like her brother. I was literally like her brother, her real brother that lives in China. I was like a go-getter. And she was like the sister. I don't have a sister. I just have a younger brother. I wish I always had. And we had a great dinner there. And then I remember walking downtown. It was like a Saturday night and everyone's clubbing, in the long lines, drinking. And she said to me, oh, you know what? I'm so glad I don't do that anymore. Right. And that was like, and another bond was she went to college. She went to Baruch. Baruch is a great business school, great undergrad school for business. And she thought her just parents just kind of forced her there. And so we both went to college in the city. It was another bond, New York City. And she just, I wish, so glad I didn't do that. And we kind of joked, yeah, I used to do that too. Like weekends, just wasting my time away on clubbing and partying. But now we're different. But she was just like way, way more mature. She got started way earlier, right? She did a 1 or 2 years of that in college and then just hardcore and then just building her business. So that was a really memorable time in San Diego, how she went out of her way to have dinner. And then in 2017, she had a lot of legal challenges and all that stuff. Just obstacles. You're going to have haters. And I just respect her for staying firm. Doesn't matter what type of haters you have. You just keep going. And she was on the podcast again. And that was memorable again. Just talking about the work ethic she had. Awesome. In 2017, later that year, with the Eric Worre's GoPro event, and I'm there, I had a little get-together where a lot of leaders came to hang out. And she came. She came. It was just great to see her again. Huge. And she didn't sleep much, but she just has so much energy and always made me feel good and close, like a bond to her. And she introduced two of her leaders to me, two of the leaders who's been on the show. And if I forget her names right now, because I'm just Cindy, then Nicole was there. And then I can't just think of her name right now because I'm just... she's even been on the podcast, but I can't. I'm so sorry. You can listen to this. I forgot your name because my mindset is not in a good mindset right now. I just connected, and some of my coaching clients, I connected with her. She connected with Jared Krebs there, which she ended up pouring, just sharing so much freely, just giving tips. And Jared was just getting started with social media back then. Jared Krebs, someone I did coaching with, and since then has grown so much. And then from there, just 2017, that event, just watching Jessie Lee grow year after year after year, growing. And then 2019, I had the honor. She asked me to speak at her event, Empire U, in Dallas, and just blown away by, again, amazing event. Her team, the energy, the love out at that event. 2020, she was at Naples. I don't know what she was doing at Naples, Florida, but she was there. I think she was just flying in for something. I was there speaking at an event, and she decided to drop in to be at the event. And I decided to, and she was, we had a dinner at Naples. I remember she was super, super, super tired, but coming out there, and we had a great dinner. Naples was beautiful. Once the only time there. And we talked about the houses there, dream building. And after dinner, we said, let's go get some ice cream. And we went, and we couldn't find a place and too close. So we said, let's choose this ice cream place. It was about I think a mile away. Hey, instead of Uber, just walk. Hey, we're from New York. And she was just sharing how, in Baruch, she used to walk for a mile, take the subway a mile. It was exactly what I did in high school. I went to a magnet school, commuter school, where I had to walk a mile, take the subway for 45 minutes, and then, go to high school. That's the high school I grew up with in New York City. I lived in Brooklyn, New York, and then I had to take a 45-minute subway ride. It was like 1 hour, 45 somewhere into Manhattan. And we just walked. Hey, let's go. We grew up in the city. Let's walk. And we walked in Naples in the 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then got some ice cream at this really cool place, another strip in Naples. And that was, man, great conversations, right? And then in 2020, we talked on my birthday, and she posted it. We talked about, some of her leaders. One or two of her leaders I was coaching. We talked about different things. But you know what? I think as I doing this podcast, tribute the story about her. It's just the memories. What made her special? It was number one, she's loud and direct, just like me. Like she was like I felt she was really like my sister. And we think alike with New York City roots. She never let fatigue get in the way. She was always a huge giver, right? And I think something why I feel, and I'm going to share one more thing about her before we wrap up, is I felt like I impacted her, right? I mean, I was there at the beginning, and I definitely felt like I was inspired. I inspired her. And I think, and I think what makes special is when you inspire someone, maybe I was further advanced, I'm older, advanced in my career as an entrepreneur, and she was just getting started. And then she just felt, I felt, totally transparent, honest, she way surpassed me 1,000 times, right? She just took it and bam, bam. And when you see that, I was so proud of her. Just what she has done. Every time I see her, it's like she got to another level, then another level, then another level, right? And having the attitude. I saw a spiritual journey too. I think when I first met her, she wasn't that strong in her faith. She was a believer, but not strong. And I saw her faith get stronger and stronger. And I would almost say, like, getting her start of her beginning of the MLM journey to where she is now. She went from just like getting in there, discovering MLM, getting paid on multiple levels, to being a leader, to being a 7-figure, and then to become a legend. And then she's outside of network marketing. She's now really inspiring and what is possible. Right. And I think my last message about this is, like I've always felt, and I was telling my wife about this, like I thought I got to know her really well. Right. And then when she passed, I'm thinking back, I actually didn't know her that well. Right. I didn't. And I think that's the magic of Jessie Lee Ward that we could all learn. She has this amazing connection where she makes everyone feel special. And that's what made her successful. She made me feel really, really special. And she always made sure she had like a magical thing to, whether she's go out of the way to do something for me, go out of the way to meet me. And there's another story in 2017. We were at a Bob Heilig event, and she came up to me, oh, Simon, and we're hanging out there afterwards. I'm talking to some people who joined my coaching program. We're talking, and she hung out. And she, I got to rush off to a meeting. And she was so excited to go to her meeting that she forgot her laptop there. And after we're cleaning up, I'm going back there. Hey, whose laptop is this? So, oh, crap, that's Jessie Lee's laptop. And she's driven like 45 minutes away already. And then she had to make a U-turn and come back. Right? I think I had to go to the airport. And someone that worked for me, Magic Mike, he actually stayed on there to wait for Jessie Lee to give the laptop. But just funny story so much. But every time I'll see her on the phone, she always made me feel special. And she always made you feel that you knew her really well. Right? She was very transparent, whether sharing about her family issues with me or her brother, right? Very transparent, very real. And even on the social media, I think the last couple months sharing her journey. So I think that's what the gift of her, if we have to take away, is that I felt I really knew her really, really well. Actually, I didn't know her that. I knew her, but I didn't know her that well, right? But she always made me feel I got to know her really well, and we're super close. And I think we were a lot closer at the beginning and less close. But I still felt like towards the end of her last couple months, I still felt very close to her. I knew her, right? And I think that's the magic of her. It was like being transparent, being vulnerable, being a huge giver, and really caring about the details. I remember like when we had a dinner at Naples, she, my oldest son is really, really good at baseball. My second son he likes baseball too, but maybe at the early age, not as talented. And he had a breakthrough. I was so happy. And she immediately asked me about that, had me talking about that, right? She just had a magic touch to make you feel special and make you feel that you got to know her. And I think that's why she's loved by tens of thousands of people. So that's my message. I guess I didn't cry, which is good. When I finish publishing this reel, I have a couple more edits. I will, I'm sure I'll cry again, bawl a little bit. But hey, any takeaway is go make people feel special at Jessie Lee Ward. Go the extra mile to help people, right? Go the extra mile. Be that extra person. Be caring. Be a giver. Look, the free content she gave, the stuff she shared. She was really a true giver. Made everyone feel special. And that's why we will always remember her. And that's why she's a legend. And her impact is definitely not going to end right now. I think the legend and the impact she's going to make is even going to go way, way, way more than when she was with us. But we'll miss her. And I guess I'll have to wait till I see her in heaven. So anyway, that's all I have. If you find this episode helpful, let me know. And what are the takeaways? Go think of the takeaways, and we could all be have a little bit more of Jessie Lee with us. So anyway, Jessie Lee Ward, we will miss you. We miss you. We're crying inside. I'm crying inside. Rest in peace. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching on the YouTube channel. God bless. Take action on something on this episode. Take action on something and go out there and have a positive impact like the way Jessie Lee Ward did. God bless you all.